Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is MEKNEX and today we are going to be discussing an interesting topic. So I'm going to be reacting to this story that I saw on Facebook. It is really funny. So let me get into this story. So first of all, the story says I got married 8 months ago. My husband earns 70k monthly while I am here to get a job. During our wedding ceremony, Hobby sent about 580k on the lease given to him for traditional wedding. I persuaded my parents to reduce the lease, but they said it is a must and a tradition. So he was able to raise the money as I wasn't working and I couldn't help financially. So this must be really tough on the person. After marriage, I suggested that he should be sending something monthly to my parents as he does send to his parents too. But to my surprise, the reply he gave me was that he doesn't owe my parents anything, that they have collected all they are entitled to. See, this is so funny. Um, First of all, I believe that the guy is earning poor. Any 70,000 a month is really a poor amount of money to survive in this Nigeria today. So I think he's earning really poor, and if he was able to raise the 580k from 70,000 a month, then he did a good job. He tried. But I do not like the part where he say he doesn't owe the parents of this girl anything again, because they've collected everything during the wedding. See, if this should repeat on his daughter, then he will tell me if buying pampers for a girl from from the first month to 2 years is enough payment for 580k. If feeding her from that 1 year to how many years she was when he married her is 580k, then he should just explain himself. If clothing her, taking her to school, and every expenses that they made on her head before she got married to him was equivalent to 580k, then I think we should support him. But for him to say he doesn't owe the parent anything without an excuse of I don't have, said okay, I'm not earning much and I don't have to give your parents right now, maybe when I'm relaxed, then it's a different story. But saying he doesn't owe them anything, no, he doesn't owe them anything. Nobody is saying the parents are entitled to anything, but saying that he doesn't owe them anything because he has paid everything, because he paid 580k, then I definitely think the guy is, it's not okay. It's not. Because one thing is, karma is a bitch. He's going to come back, he's going to have his own child, and then we will know if he's going to use 580,000 to train that child from childhood to adulthood, and then when another man comes to marry her, he's going to give him 580,000 and tell him, I am done with your family, I have bought your daughter, and this is all about it. See, I'm not saying he owes the family anything, but he doesn't have a right under heaven to say he has bought the girl because he paid 580,000. If we're buying this girl, 580,000 is nothing compared to what you should have paid. So if the family is saying pay 580,000 because this is what is on the list, they did not do you any wrong. See, brother, if you didn't have money to marry, you should have rested. It's not by force to marry. So for you to even agree to marry, at the end of the day, you are now believing that you bought this girl because you paid 580,000. The parent refused to remove anything for you, then you don't owe them, then you are definitely not right. So I don't really like this part of the story where he believes that he is not entitled to the girl's family, they are not entitled to anything. Nobody's saying they are entitled, but he did not buy that girl by paying just 580,000. If he has paid 580 million, then we'll be like, oh, okay, he paid much, he paid a lot. But what is 580,000 where a child is involved? Check how much you've spent on your child's health. Check how much you spent on your child's clothing, feeding, and every other thing. See, Mr. Man, somebody is going to come and marry your daughter later, and that person is going to give you way less than you've spent on her, and then he's going to tell you that you are not entitled to shishi. And let's see how happy you become with that. So the second part of the story, so that is not even the sweeter part of the story. So he said he is not able to send anything to the girl's parents, which is understandable because he's earning low, but because he's saying he doesn't owe them anything because he paid 580,000, then I don't think he is right. So she said, I was not angry about that until my younger brother wanted to get married and the bride family gave him a list of things for the traditional wedding, which amounted to 408 to 400k. Okay, her own was 580,000. Now her brother has a list of 480k, and her dad then shared the expenses. I don't understand. Your brother doesn't have money to marry and he's going to marry. It's basically that the first time this guy that they gave 580k was expected to share his list with his family, both his in-law. So no, I don't understand. Now that I'm married, I will now tell my husband my brother want to marry. He wants to marry. Because he wants to marry, my husband should send 120k. Really? So he said my dad then shared the expenses and told my husband to contribute 100 towards my brother's wedding. But to my surprise, my husband said no and told me that my family has collected all they wanted during our wedding and they shouldn't come to him for any financial assistance. Whew. Okay, your brother is not ready to marry. He doesn't have money to marry. This guy, you people build him 580k to marry you, and then when you wanted to get married, when your brother wanted to get married, he's now responsible for your brother's marriage. I don't get, like, guys, things are happening. How can you wake up one morning and say because you married my sister you're going to contribute to my wedding, and it's by force because they shared this bill equally? So I don't think they have any rights to share any bill to the in-law who they know sef that is even angry, still even angry with them. They have no right whatsoever under heaven to come and give him a bill for someone that wants to marry. For goodness sake, if you know you are ready to get married, be ready for the expenses. If you know you are ready to get married, don't put your burden on anybody. So if your brother is not ready to marry, you should rest. You should go and rest. That is this thing. Your husband does not owe your brother any financial assistance. He doesn't owe your family any assistance as to your brother getting married. He is not the one that should marry for your brother. So imagine, remove 120,000 from 400,000. How much is left? How much? Like, it's almost done now. I think we have 280,000 left. So you mean this guy is paying almost 30% of what you are marrying with? So it's not done. It doesn't make any sense. So I think this family, they are not feeling fine. When the guy asked to reduce his own bride price, you refuse, and now your brother has a 400 less than, way less than 180,000 less than his, and you think your husband should contribute, and you even have mind to tell him, somebody that have been telling you every day that I'm no longer owing your family. They already collected everything. For them to collect 580,000 naira from me means I'm not owing them. And you have more to tell, and you are even getting angry. So she was angry because he said they've collected everything during her wedding. So because they collected 580,000, he believes that he has satisfied the family. They've sold their daughter to him, and he doesn't owe them any responsibility. Now the brother wants to marry, and the family still think that this guy is owing them 120,000. I don't know if the 120,000 is part of the girl's bride price that he did not finish paying or something, but he drastically refused. So ever since then, she's like, we have been having, okay, she got angry and told him that he is not responsible. She got very angry and shouted at him like, oh, you're not responsible. And this guy got very angry, and ever since then they have been living like strangers in the house. He doesn't talk to her. He has just been keeping to himself, and she has never seen him this way before, not even in their 2 years of courtship. So she's now asking, what should she do in this situation? She's now in between her husband and her family. So first of all, I don't think you owe your family much explanation to this. You don't owe them any explanation to this. What they are requesting is totally bad. It's totally not supposed to be. If you ever come across this video, I would advise that you should just leave your family to him. let them ask him directly and let him refuse. So if anybody is asking you, where is your husband 120,000, the person should ask your husband and let your husband refuse, because trying to put yourself in between this situation is just going to ruin your 8 months old marriage. Your marriage is not even old enough, and they're asking you to convince your husband to bring 120,000. You sister, if you have the 120,000, go and pay, but I don't think your husband will ever agree to paying such money. And if you are standing with your family, it means you no longer value your own home, and at the end of the day, you're not going to get that 120,000, you're still going to lose your home. So I think that is my opinion to this. Your family did not try. When he asked for deduction, you people did not reduce anything for him. Even though I don't believe that your husband does not owe your family any other entitlement, but for this one that is bride price, it's not even your father's health or anything. I don't think your husband owe any allegiance. I don't think he owe anybody explanation whatsoever, or owe anybody any money to be paid so for bride price or whatsoever. And for the fact that he's earning 70,000, 70,000 is not even enough to feed one person. Talk more of a family, plus you have a child. I don't think I don't think this should be an issue. You should consider him. He's not earning much and he's doing his best. He's still sending money to his parents. He's still feeding you and himself, taking care of you and himself. Bringing in those external family members issues into your home is not the right way to go. Just let them be. If he's not paying, find a way to talk to your family. Tell them he doesn't have. Talk to them. Tell them. You might not go and tell them that he say he's not owing them any allegiance. Just talk to them. Make them understand that he doesn't have, because he's earning little. He's earning 70,000. When will he save 120,000 to give to your brother for traditional wedding? It's not even like borrow. It's something that he's going to give. So I don't think that is a wise. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Expect more reaction videos on marriage from me, and see you in my next one. Bye.